The narrative around GamerGate is that it is a hate movement made out of angry, white male gamers aimed at harassing women and driving them out of the gaming industry. Yet even a cursory glance shows that the narrative doesn't really hold water. One only has to ask oneself a few very simple questions. Number 1. If GamerGate really is about harassing women in game development, why are we only hearing about the same 2 or 3 over and over again? Approximately 26% of all game developers are female, meaning that there are thousands out there. That is a big number, especially considering that this is a young technical industry. So where is this massive harassment campaign then? Why have only so few women spoken up? It can be because of fear of harassment, because according to the narrative, they are already being harassed. So there is no better time to come out than now, when it's in the media spotlight and the media are attacking GamerGate. Some might say, well, if there isn't so much harassment, why haven't female game developers spoken for GamerGate? The answer to that one is simple. A game developer and his company make a living by selling games. Siding with GamerGate openly means siding with the movement that the gaming media is currently at war. It would mean getting bad reviews or being blacklisted, your game being ignored and never mentioned, something that can easily ruin a developer. That is a far greater incentive to keep quiet than just getting trends from random internet nobodies, which, by the way, pro GamerGate individuals are also constantly getting. Number 2. If the facts are so clear, if the truth is on the anti-GamerGate side, then why do the loudest accusers of GamerGate avoid any open debate? If you can completely debunk your opponent's arguments in a live media debate, why run away from that? It would be a perfect opportunity to strike a death blow to GamerGate. And yet the accusers have repeatedly rejected invitations to such debates or any shows that might actually ask hard questions. So why is GamerGate in a media blackout? Why is everything good it does swept under the rug and never mentioned? Why aren't pro-GamerGate people given time in the media? Even terrorists, whistleblowers, and rapists get an opportunity to tell their side of the story, but GamerGaters don't? Jan Frank, Anita Sarkeesian, and Samantha Allen's harassment far predates GamerGate and also wasn't reported on, and Brianna Wu's harassment came later. The only woman harassed at the spark of this is Zoe Quinn. Was that terrible? Yes, it was. But she was far outnumbered by men being harassed over the exact same thing. Here's what was different. Nobody reported on them. I wonder, where was this outrage when Phil Fish cancelled Fez 2 over harassment earlier this year? Oh wait, game journalists were making fun of him. He needed thicker skin, he needed to stop feeding the trolls and engaging them, and I'm going to quote this one, he always seemed like a bit of a douche anyway. So a hate movement of MRAs who never managed to get any kind of following, grassroots or otherwise, have started a campaign to keep women out of the gaming industry by attacking low-profile developers and journalists that were so unknown that for all intents and purposes they weren't really in the gaming industry in the first place? Does that really seem likely to you? If that's what happened, it's the most ineffective campaign I ever heard of. I find it much more likely that journalists are using harassment seen through the lens of current gender politics to deflect people away from being able to call them out on their bullshit. Let's not even get into the fact that the death threats against Anita Sarkeesian after she engaged GamerGate have been confirmed to have come from a Brazilian clickbait game journalist that has ties to other games news sites. More importantly, it was GamerGate who tracked that person down, collected evidence and submitted it to the FBI. And again, the media are silent, as they are on the endless stream of insults and harassment targeted at GamerGate supporters. When GamerGate first came together to donate to charities, the opposition tried to sabotage those attempts. Firstly, by demanding the charities do not accept the money, and by that failed by directly attacking them. According to them, GamerGate was weaponizing charity. Again, the media stays silent. When GamerGaters called for discussion, the opposition demanded that they be silenced and not listened to. When the women and minorities of GamerGate, tired of being ignored and removed from existence, banded together under the Not Your Shield tag, they were attacked and harassed, told they do not matter and that they are traitors to their race and sex, and showered with every insult imaginable. The person who started the tag was fired after repeated false complaints. The same women and minorities are still attacked daily, the opposition doing absolutely nothing to stop it, and even cheering it on. When GamerGate started a harassment patrol to report and stop harassment, the opposition did nothing to stop any harassment from their side, instead accusing GamerGaters of creating a smokescreen. Quite the contrary, they'd often congratulate each other and not label it as harassment but rather dispensing of justice. The media, either knowingly or through negligence or laziness, does not tell the truth. In the end, this harassment scare does far more damage to the women in the gaming industry than the actual harassment ever could.